Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is a really exciting day for me because this is my 5-year Blog-O-Versary. So for those of you that may be a little bit newer here, you might not be aware that I actually also write a blog. It's LittleBlushingBirdie.com, and that's honestly where I got started in this whole beauty world. I used to just exclusively write posts on my blog and like dabble a little bit in Instagram. I didn't really get started here on YouTube until somewhere between 2015 and 2016. And it really has only been for the last maybe like year and a half that I've been uploading consistently 3 times a week. So I really consider like that first day that I hit publish, which was June 13th, 5 years ago, to be like the start of my beauty career. And while on one hand it feels like the last 5 years have gone by like this, on the other, when I look back to where my life was then and where it is now, so much has happened, it's kind of ridiculous. So I thought it might be fun, you know, in celebration of the last 5 years, to give you guys a little story time, tell you a little bit about how my whole blogging experience got started and how I kind of fell in love with beauty, because I honestly don't think I've ever really shared the full story here on my channel. I'm sure over the years I've kind of said little bits and pieces in like getting ready with me videos and things like that, but I don't think I've ever really done a dedicated video on my blogging history. So that is what we're going to do today. If you are new here, like this is the first time that you're seeing my face, welcome. My name is Lauren. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do upload new beauty videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I hope you will subscribe and stick around if you want to see more of my content here in the future. And with all of that being said, let's get into the story of my blog. So I honestly don't even remember a time in my life where I didn't absolutely love beauty products. I remember being really young, like elementary school, maybe like 6, 7, 8 years old, and I loved to draw. I loved all things girly. I loved my dolls. I loved to play dress up. I used to dance, and I loved all my little sparkly costumes, and I just definitely had a bit of an obsession with fashion and with makeup. I used to draw like little fashion catalogs. I used to draw paper dolls, and I would create little outfits for them, and I especially loved to draw in their makeup. And I know I was one of those kids that had the giant box of Crayola colored pencils. That was like all that I wanted for Christmas, because I wanted the most options possible for all of the things that I was creating. And it's so funny, I have like one of those memory boxes with things from my childhood in it, and I found some of the drawings that I had from when I was little, and I was basically drawing face charts at like 8 years old and had no idea that what I was doing. I was drawing faces, and I was like, I think burnt sienna will be a perfect eyeliner, and oh, I want to use this olive green for an eyeshadow, and maybe this terracotta color will look really nice as a lipstick. And it's so ridiculous and so silly, but I loved it. That was just something that I found so much fun to do, putting colors together, creating color stories. I don't know, I was little, but I had such an appreciation for the aesthetic of it. I always loved art, and I definitely took as many art classes through high school as I could as possible. It was just something that I was really into. So I remember way back when, like before I even owned or really put any makeup on my face, I just loved the idea of putting different colors together and creating really cool makeup looks. And if you've watched any of my skincare videos in the past, you may be aware that I suffered from acne growing up, basically from around the time that I got my first period when I was like 11 or 12 years old through my mid-20s. My skin broke out like crazy. I'm pretty sure it's hormonally related. Things have gotten better as I've gotten older, and also as I have learned how to better take care of my skin. But I remember in those early days, I was really obsessed with learning about ingredients, learning more about skincare. I was in this place of really wanting to trial and error everything, because I was determined that there was an answer to making my acne better. And my mom was constantly always bringing home, you know, Proactive and this and that infomercial product, and like none of it ever worked for me. I knew that a lot of it was probably a gimmick and things that people were using to like just try to sell you product. And honestly, I feel like that was the foundation for me wanting to be a beauty reviewer, because I was a skeptic. I knew I had really oily, acne-prone skin, and I felt like I was being lied to a little bit, because everything just seemed to make my acne worse that was marketed towards my skin type. When I was in high school, I bought this book called Beauty, and it was written by an editor of a magazine. It was this giant, thick book, and it went in depth into like ingredients and sulfates and all of these things, and it just totally blew my mind. I was so into it. That book was like my Bible for the longest time of just learning everything about application techniques and formulations and like really getting into the nitty-gritty of the beauty world. I completely revamped everything that I owned. Like, I remember I went into my shower after reading that book and looked at all the stuff that I was using that I'd been using forever that my mom just bought because it was, you know, inexpensive and that was just what she was used to getting, and all of it was like completely the opposite of everything I learned. I got all new stuff when I got my first job and could like go to CVS and go to Walmart and buy my own shampoo and conditioner. I remember I got the John Frieda Brilliant Brunette and like the Organics, when it used to still be Organics, their coconut shampoo. That was like what I switched to when I first kind of had my awakening of beauty products when I was a teenager, because they were sulfate free and they were better for my hair. And I just remember everything changed for me once I started to actually understand really what I was doing. And honestly, it's funny because when it comes to like career and all that kind of stuff, I always felt so lost growing up. I never really knew what I wanted to do. I was a good student. I got good grades in school. I went to college. I got good grades in college. And I was kind of in one of those places where people were like, you can do anything. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do then. Please give me some direction. The only thing that I think I knew that I absolutely was passionate about was beauty. And you know, I thought about maybe going to school to become a makeup artist, but my father especially was really skeptical of that. He very much had this attitude of like, why would I spend so much money to send you to college if you were just going to become a makeup artist, which I think is completely ridiculous. But being like 19, 20 years old, I definitely was not super assured in myself, nor was I going to stand up to him for that. So I just kind of always had beauty as a thing on the back burner, nothing that I ever really took seriously as a possible career option, even though I absolutely loved it. And then, you know, the internet happened. I mean, the internet was happening, but I feel like YouTube and blogs really became a thing when I was in college. And I wish, in a way, that I had started out sooner than I did. I put off a lot of excuses as to not starting to create my own beauty content, which I totally should have just done. But I let a lot of things in my life influence me in a negative way. So if there's one thing to take home from this video as a point, a little nugget of wisdom, if you will, it's don't let other people get in the way of your passions and your dreams. Don't let other people make you feel bad about what you love. Nerd out about what you want to nerd out about, and don't apologize for it, because life is short. You only have so many years here. You might as well use as many of them as possible doing what you love. And like, I know for me personally, through my college years and like those first few years after college, I was dating some guys that really were not into girly girls, and I definitely put all of that part of myself on the back burner. Like, I didn't really like to wear makeup except for when I was ballroom dancing. That was like my one outlet that I could really tap into that area of myself. But in the rest of my life, I like wasn't wearing girly clothes. I wasn't wearing makeup very often because they made me really self-conscious about it. And it's funny, I got dumped in like 2011, and it sucked at the time, but it honestly was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because it forced me to kind of start over. I wasn't interested in any guys. I was on my own, and I stayed single for years, actually, basically until I started dating my now husband. And in that time, I feel like I really reclaimed like my love of beauty, my girly girl self, and that was when I decided to finally start blogging. I used to joke in those early days that my blog was my boyfriend, because honestly that was what I spent all of my free time doing when I wasn't working. But it was awesome. I loved it. It was just like the most freeing and exciting thing to actually embrace something that you really love and to like start creating content. And let me tell you, when I first started my blog, I basically went on Blogger, which is Google's free blogging platform, and I signed up for an account. I spent all of about an hour trying to pick out a name because I was super impatient. I just wanted to like make a blog. To be fair, I actually had created multiple blogs in the past before Little Blushing Birdie was born. They never really were things I took very seriously. Like, I think I started 1 or 2 blogs in college and maybe wrote like a post or two, and that was it. And I never really publicized it. Little Blushing Birdie was like the first time that I was focused, where I was really committed, and I was like, this is something I want and I'm just gonna do it and I'm gonna stick with it. And I'm kind of proud of myself for the last 5 years that I've actually done that. And you know, my blog has undergone a lot of transformations over the years. I have never hired anyone to do anything for me with my blog. I have done all of my graphics myself. I've done all of my coding myself. I basically am one of those people that's a hardcore do-it-yourselfer. I've Googled a lot in the last 5 years to learn how to do different things. I've kept my blog on Blogger. I haven't ever transported my content to another hosting site. I've thought about switching to WordPress or being self-hosted. It's kind of still something I'm toying with doing now that I'm kind of taking things a little bit more seriously. But honestly, Blogger has treated me pretty well. You know, it's been a lot of hard work to learn all of that stuff and to create a website basically from scratch, but I've loved it. It's been so much fun, and there's been so many rewarding moments every time. I would be spending hours trying to figure out how to do something, and then all of a sudden I would do it. I would figure out that missing piece, and then I would be able to like make some effect happen or change some part of my website, and it would work, and it would be like the best feeling ever. It's also funny to watch your content evolve over the course of many years. When I first started out with my blog, I had a very limited income. I didn't have anywhere near as much beauty stuff as I have now. I really relied on like Birchbox and Ipsy subscriptions to like get new products in to test, because they were only $10 a month, and it would be a great way for me to try a bunch of different things. I would also save up my money for those Sephora Favorite Samplers kits, because they were kind of newer to the market, and it was a great way for me to try a bunch of beauty without spending a ton of money. Honestly, if you are interested in writing a blog, or if you're a kind of budding makeup artist, if you're kind of interested in makeup and this whole beauty world, those are such great places to get started. And there are even more options for subscriptions now than there ever used to be. There are more sampler kits everywhere than there ever used to be. There are so many ways for you to try a lot of products without spending a lot of money. Don't feel like you need to run out and buy everything full size, because you so definitely don't. And I don't know, it's just really nice looking back on those first few posts, just to remind myself of my roots, of where I came from back before I got a single PR package, back before I had any money to go to drop like on makeup on the regular. And I still was creating content, and you know, honestly, it wasn't that great, but I loved doing it and I had so much fun. And I'm glad that I kept with it, because it's been such a learning experience for me. When I like look at the quality of my pictures now versus the quality of my pictures 5 years ago, things have changed dramatically, and that's the result of a lot of trial and error, and a lot of me playing with Photoshop, and a lot of me reading articles and watching other videos and learning. And honestly, if I can say there's one thing that these last 5 years have been worth it to me, it's just been a learning experience. I've grown so much as a person, I've grown so much in my knowledge, I've grown so much in my expertise with makeup, and none of that would have been possible had I not been doing what I've been doing. The other really amazing thing that's come out of this blogging experience for me are the people that I've built relationships with, the brands that I've built relationships with, just the sense of community. I mean, the beauty world has a reputation of being very catty, and there are certainly some individuals that can bring drama, but for the most part, I have gotten nothing but love and support from people. My subscribers are amazing. Honestly, I don't care that I don't have a really large following. Like, yes, it's always amazing to reach new people and to grow your community. That's something that I would continue to like to do. But at the end of the day, if even just one person can enjoy my videos or enjoy my blog posts or my pictures on Instagram, if I can just help someone a little bit, can brighten somebody's day, I can give them something pretty to look at that makes them smile, that's all that I care about. That's all that I need. I don't need hundreds of thousands of subscribers for this to be worth it for me to do. I think that anyone who's achieved that level of success, I think it's absolutely amazing. I would be lying if I said that I wouldn't aspire to be able to achieve that success myself someday. But I guess my thing is, if I don't, I don't, and that's okay. And I want to let any of you who are watching this video or who have given me love anywhere that like I appreciate you so much, because it is so nice to have someone else on the other side of this camera, on the other side of those blog posts, that are engaging with me, that are sending me love back, that are letting me know that they like that product. just talking with me, just having a conversation. It's awesome. It makes this so much fun for me to do, and I honestly cannot, I think, express my gratitude enough. So that is really my blogging story. That is how I got started here. You know, I eventually ultimately decided to start posting to YouTube probably in like 2015-ish or so, just because I felt like there were certain kinds of content that were better suited to videos than blog posts, like tutorials and getting ready with these and things like that. And I do actually feel like I've learned to love YouTube even more and more over the years, but I never will forget about my blog. I'm still going to continue to post content on there. I would love to be able to post content more. It can always get a little bit tricky trying to balance Instagram, YouTube, and a blog, especially when you're also trying to do other things in your life, but it is a passion project of mine. I am not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. I definitely want to continue to create awesome beauty content for you guys. I love hearing your feedback and your recommendations as well. Like, let me know if there are kinds of videos you want to see, if there are kinds of blog posts you would like to see, like what content makes you happy, what do you find the most useful or entertaining to watch. I always enjoy your comments. Thank you so much to all of you that leave me such sweet comments and that take time to talk to me on all of my videos. Like, it's something I look forward to so much. And yeah, hopefully this will be just one marker of many in this beauty journey of mine. Again, if you are new here, I hope you will subscribe and come back for more of my beauty videos. I should have another one for you guys on Friday. I think we're going to be doing an unboxing of some fun subscriptions, kind of a throwback to my old school 2013 days when basically all I had were subscription boxes. And yeah, hopefully that will be fun for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your support here. And I hope you all are having an amazing Wednesday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.